Yay.
Okay, welcome.
Hey,
How are
hello.
you?
So
Um,
good.
Katerina, please introduce yourself to everyone and tell them what you do.
Yeah, hey, thanks for listening. First of all, I'm Katerina, from Escuela Grind is my band. I'm the vocalist of my band, and I'm really excited to talk to you today. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, can you tell people a little bit about like what your band sounds like?
Of course. So we have had many different evolutions as the years go on, but essentially we're like a grindcore band, so blast beat heavy, hardcore music. So it's a little bit of that, a little bit of that. And we have a ton of EPs that go into like all the genres that we really love. So death metal is one, power violence is another. And we just try and throw everything into the mix with our band. So if you like stream music like grindcore, power violence, hardcore, death metal, old school death metal. That's what we are, all in one.
Perfect. Um,
Thanks.
when did you first realize that you liked these genres of music and that you wanted to create more music like this?
Yeah, so I was a teenager, basically. I'd always listened to all sorts of music. I noticed that I liked the more extreme, heavier stuff, like the more extreme of any genre. I liked a lot more. Like, I grew up in the 90s, so singer-songwriters were really popular. Like, even that stuff, I gravitated to the more like raw elements of. So I always kind of knew that I liked the intensity turned
Mm,
up a bit. I got exposed to more music like what we play with bands like Converge. Growing up, they were a huge influence on me, and I learned about a lot from that influence. So, of course, Power Violence, I mentioned earlier, was like a big driver of the early years of our bands, and I found out about those bands when I was like a late teen. It's a West Coast heavy genre, so my whole drive to be in extreme music was really based off of my drive to be in this kind of community, a music community. And I came from a small town, and I'm shy and I'm an only child, uh, in a lot of ways. So yeah, so that drive for community and looking outward, to find that
mhm.
element to the music. So that's how I got in.
Do you remember like the first time that you heard one of the bands that would go on to inspire you, like and you were like, "Oh," or like that moment?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. For sure. It's like the opening riff on The Saddest Day, which is on Petitioning the Empty Sky from Converge. That right. That like, I don't know, it's just the dissonant stuff. I hadn't really heard much of stuff like that. It's not something that would be on the radio. You don't hear much dissonance on the radio. And it's like simple to think of now. There's a million bands that like use that and a million bands that I love that use that, but that kind of really caught your attention. It's like a siren. So yeah, that song I remember.
Nice. Love it. Okay. So if your music were a movie soundtrack, what would the movie be about?
God, I guess that depends on the day of life for most people. Right now, my life is that of a touring musician. It's extreme highs and extreme lows. And sometimes those can be multiple times in a day. So yeah, it's I'm getting used to it. I'm after 250 shows last year, I just when I think I'm used to it, I something else comes up and I'm so anyways, that would be a very erratic soundtrack to an erratic movie, an expressionist movie, if you will. I don't know if it would make sense. Maybe it would probably be like A24 sense, like those kind of movies.
Hmm.
But yeah, and I
Okay.
love that. And I think that's kind of representative of everything we do as a band, the highs and lows. So yeah.
Awesome. Who would the like antagonist be in your movie, or what would be like the big boss battle?
Ugh. I mean, it's been done before. However, like, the self, you battle, you're always,
Right.
or like a projection of the self. I think it's like, what was it, Scott Pilgrim at the end, he battles himself, but the opposite form of himself. Yeah, that's always the enemy, really.
Nice. If you could collect any three vinyl records of all time, what would you like to have?
Oh, that's a really hard question, only because I'm not so much of a collector of vinyl. I have a small collection. I've always loved picking it up at shows. So I wouldn't say that I would know like what's valuable and what would be super precious. I have some friends with crazy collections, like rooms in their house, like
Whoa.
just floor to ceiling records. Really cool. Shout out Carl. We love Carl in New Orleans, but he has so many records. It's so cool. So I wouldn't know what was valuable, but I yeah, honestly, I think about this time when I was just, I just moved out of my house as like a late teens and I didn't have any money and I took the records that I did have and I sold them for nothing to like a store in town. And that store's gone and those records are gone, long gone, decades gone. But I like kind of think like, that's important to build that back up, to like buy those back. I don't know. For me, personally, that would be really cool. There was a Bjork import record in there that I don't think that I can get again. That was cool. Um, at the time I was like really into like a lot of the more experimental indie music. So like there was like a Dan Deacon record in there, an early one, and Earhoof, and I'm wearing a Mertzbauer shirt today, but like stuff like that I was super into. So yeah, building that back up and remembering that time.
Nice. Okay, so some of the ones that you had before.
Yeah.
Nice. If you could if you could create a festival lineup, any bands you want, the number can be pretty big. It could be a 3-day lineup, or it could be small.
Yeah.
What bands would you like to put on that lineup?
Oh, okay. So like I used to be part of a booking collective, me and my partner, and we had a few other people that through the years, like wherever we moved, would come in and we used to book shows. And I was really, really into it. I loved doing it. I loved setting it up. But at the time it wasn't very accessible for me. I was having a hard bit of luck getting into the industry and like there's a bit of sexism to it, but not I was a newcomer. I wasn't seasoned, but so I had a lot of time to think about what I would book and where I would book, and I build these like dream lineups all the time. But I think something that has recently become kind of important to me is to like reconnect with my hometown community. We used to have a lot of really cool shows, like a bustling, like I mean, small, but like, there's not a lot of people here. So, like a house show community we used to have, like when I was really young, we had a record store at one point with one of my friends used to run it. He's moved on and moved to the West Coast. So there's not many places to play anymore here really at all, and a lot of people have moved, and it's really inaccessible to do something like that here. So I would want to probably lose money putting on a show here in Pittsfield and trying to get people to come into the area and see what we have here. And so if I was to do that, and I would love to do that, it would be bands from, here or the Albany, New York area, which is the closest. And like, since I'm putting it on, it would be stuff from my memory of living here when I was young. I moved away and I came back and today. So, you know, we have had Hatebreed come and play here quite a few times, a house show and a show at well, essentially was an indoor skate park. I would love for Hatebreed to play in Pittsfield at a like big proper show. We fill it out. I love the Acacia Strain. They're friends. We've toured with them. They're from Western Mass slash Albany, so I'd love for them to play. Skinless also from Albany, and they're just the best guys. They're really fun, and so I really want them to play too. Gosh, other than that, I mean, there's some cool local bands that are popping up and young kids that are getting into it. So of course we want them to be involved. And I'd love to play. Shit, I don't care. I'd love to play any show that I would book. So yeah,
Oh, nice. The focus on your locality. That's awesome.
yeah,
Um,
bringing people here. I think it's, I don't know. I think it's important. Like I just looking at this cup that I have, I didn't really plan this, but like this town that Obscene Obscene is in is a tiny town, and like are just overrun by this festival every year, and they're really, really cool about it. And the town was really awesome, and like this could be anywhere. Like if
Mm,
it's in the middle of essentially a small town in the Czech Republic, nowhere, like
mhm.
this could be anywhere. So, and like this festival and the videos from this festival are really like really important to me. So yeah.
Oh, awesome. I love that perspective. Like it, there's a lot of like really, I think the most fun that I've had, like the first two spaces that come to mind were a place in upstate New York for this folk festival.
Oh, nice.
And I like camped there and it was like all these installation artists. It was very art rock.
Nice. That's awesome.
I loved it. It was
Hell
amazing.
yeah.
It's just
Sounds
like,
like Woodstock meets Burning Man, but like probably with some more modern bands.
yeah, I'm not even sure. I mean, it was almost like banjo music. It was like
Okay.
many days and like the camping was super cool. It was multi-generational. There was a train like right next to it.
Oh,
Um,
that's awesome.
yeah, and they had like
Nice.
it was some kind of like artist residency and they had turned all the structures there into spaces full of like artist installations and then they had the performers.
Yeah,
Um,
nice.
and it was like a small town, you know, in a
Yeah,
rural area. And
I
then
love that.
yeah, another great one like what you're describing would be Rock in Sweden, where it's
Yeah,
like
cool.
nothing happens there except for Rock. So
Hell yeah.
but it brings
That's
people
awesome.
there. And there's like a little girl that has a lemonade stand there every year and she like makes bank.
Oh,
So
that's so cool. I love that.
yeah, I like what your focus would be local and like bringing people to your town. Okay, looking back on especially so many tour dates, but overall, what's a
Yeah.
big decision you made that turned out to be a great choice?
Oh, gosh. Huh. Well, I know what I would say, but it's like it's not stuff that people usually talk about. So I don't know. I guess I'll talk about it. It's so we had a tour that was being planned, being booked. A lot of some of the dates were being booked and whatnot. And it was with two of our friends' bands, uh No Mas, who's awesome and we love them and they're badass, and No, also awesome, really cool. Um so this tour was being booked by our agent, share an agent, and it was basically sewed up, almost ready to go. We hadn't announced it yet, but a lot of people were really excited about it. And then we get this email. Uh, Napalm Death wants to bring you on tour in a tour bus for 5 weeks in Europe and the UK. Like your favorite band is like wants you to come and play, and their agent wants to book you in Europe and everything. And like, holy shit! Like, but it's at the same time as this tour, right?
Mm.
So you have this choice. Like, I have this opportunity to be touring with my favorite band, two of my favorite bands actually, Drop Dead and Napalm in Europe in a tour bus, everything taken care of. Like,
Mhm.
what an opportunity and an amazing tour that's basically almost booked with your friends that you know is going to be awesome and fun,
Mhm.
but it's your favorite band in Europe. So, yeah, that was a hard decision, but we ended up dropping the tour that we were going to do and going on tour with Napalm Death. And, you know, either way is a win because either way you get to experience something amazing and you get to play your music for people. But, in the end, it was a kind of a disrespectful thing to do to our friends. I
Oh.
feel that way about it. Um, we had something that was all ready to go, and I let that sort of excitement about touring with my favorite band, like cloud. Like I'm thinking in this mindset, like, oh my God, this is my one shot, my only chance. Like this will never happen again. Like this is it. This is like I'm so excited, not thinking about anything else. Like, oh, of course we have to do this. Like, well, but in reality, like if you work hard, like maybe it will come around again. Maybe you didn't offend someone. Maybe they'll understand. And in the end, no matter what decision you make, it's your decision and you have to own it and you have to experience it and get the best out of everything. But you can realize that you can make mistakes and still have made a good decision. You know what I mean? It's there's tons of this in the industry, and it's tied to art, and people's feelings are so held on to art. And so Yeah, and like we're artists, we're not very good at expressing with direct words how we feel to each other. So I mean it's that was a complicated, good decision. However, I think about it a lot, and it's just not something people talk about a lot, like the decisions you don't make, or the wrong but right decisions you make. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think that's really indicative of what it's like to be a busy touring artist. Like you can't take every tour, you can't please everyone, and you want to you want to so bad and you want to do both things, but it's just there's only so much time and only so much space for this. So yeah.
Girl, absolutely. First of all, your friends better be happy for you because
Oh, they
that's
were
what
so happy.
friends
Yeah,
are.
they were really cool about it.
Okay,
No,
so
everyone involved was really
the
cool.
people who are happy for you are your friends.
Yeah, of course,
Period.
exactly, exactly.
Okay. Yeah. So uh, your friends, everybody should have been celebrating for you that you had that opportunity, and I am not okay with you feeling bad about that.
I don't know,
Um,
maybe it's yeah, again, it's probably purely internal, but it's a whole industry of people that are around this. There's just, our friends are in the bands, but we're not necessarily great friends with all the promoters. We're not necessarily friends with, this person's manager or that thing. So, in the end of the day, there's so much to it. And you don't think about that really when you're so emotional about stuff. But yeah, all those bands are awesome. Check them out. We will tour together someday when it lines up and it's right. I'm sure they were so happy for us, and that tour was amazing. But yeah, yeah.
yeah, I also think that you bring up another really good point, which is you can't say yes to everything. Like uh personally, like this year I had a lot of invitations to art shows. I did the Louvre in Paris, and then I'm doing the
Oh,
European Museum of Modern Art in Barcelona at the end of the month. And I can't
awesome.
go to everybody's shows because I have to
Mhm.
prioritize that. And I also got invited to like the Venice Biennial, a show in
Oh, that's
London,
awesome.
like but there are too many. Like I can't say
Yeah.
yes to everything. And I just have to say, I really want to be like there for the next opportunity to work with you, but like I can't do it all. So
Yeah, no, yeah.
yeah, so
That's
I
so
know.
cool. So
Well,
what are you going to do this? Are you going to the Biennale and all that? And
I'm
there's a lot
going.
there.
I'm doing the show in Barcelona at the end of the month, and then I'm doing the women's biennial in Chelsea in London in
Nice.
September, and that's kind of like all I can plan right now. But the point of that is to say, you
Of course,
know,
yeah.
when you have something that you really want to do, like your favorite band taking you on a bus in Europe, like that's your prerogative, you know? I'm like
Yeah.
upset that
Oh,
somebody told you you were not allowed to do that. Who's telling that?
oh.
I'm like pissed off. So no, I'm happy for you. You deserved
Thank you.
that. You made a
Thank you.
great
That's nice.
choice. You
Thank
should
you.
absolutely tour in a bus in Europe with two of your favorite bands. You earned that. You worked hard for that.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
there's a lot of imposter syndrome creeping in a lot of choices
yeah.
that we all make, and you get to a level, and I don't think it ever goes away for people that feel like that in the first place. So yeah, maybe I did feel a little bit of that, but it's nice of you to say. Thank
Well,
you.
yeah, I mean, how many days did you just tour?
And so last year we did over 250
Yeah.
dates. We did
Yeah.
250 shows.
You're not an
Um,
imposter.
thanks.
Yeah. You're a rock goddess. So,
Thank you. That's really nice.
what is your favorite stage gear and stage wear?
Woo. All right. So for me, not very popular in extreme music, but I love using wireless microphones. It's like a no-brainer. There's nothing to trip on, and we're constantly doing strange, abnormal movements. I run all over the place. I jump, but I love to do it. Wireless microphone makes sense, and I've seen people get hurt and from tripping on stuff, and
Ah,
it's just it's most festivals you go and play to will have them, and you just have to ask for them, but most people just don't like the look of just doesn't look like cool and punk to have a wireless microphone.
silly.
But no,
Oh my
I like
goodness.
it. I
You
think
know what?
I think it's appropriate.
People
Uh,
are allowed to do a variety of things.
yeah. I realize
Really.
this is this is something I keep bringing up, but yeah, no, other than that, I just last year at NAM, or this year at NAM rather, got fitted for in-ear earplugs, which I've never had before. I just always had the like the twist and foam ones.
Hmm.
Um or like a cheap Heroes or whatever, you know, the ones they sell at Guitar Center. And it's a game changer. They like never fall out of my ear, of course, because they're made to
Oh.
fit in my ear. They're
Mm.
I have a special filter in mine that's made for exactly what I do, screaming.
Oh.
Uh and they made me sit there and like scream basically so that it would like make my ears move in the way that I scream so they wouldn't be too tight or whatever. It was really cool. It was pricey, but I mean, it's worth it. It's I put them in there. I can still hear what I need to hear. I can leave them in there the whole show and not get too worried about it. The only thing you have to worry about is losing them because I'm dreading if I ever lose one. Like I'd probably cry. Like I couldn't wait for another one. And it's just
Mm.
like the whole thing. But yeah, in
Maybe
your
there's like a
earplugs or monitors, what did I say? Wireless microphone, good shoes, appropriate shoes that aren't flat, especially for a front person. I've injured my back beyond repair. Well, it probably will be repaired at some point with surgery, but it's I have my lowest vertebrae, the disc that's in it, all the fluid is gone out of the disc, so it is out in my back and it's pushing on my sciatic nerve on both sides. So it causes like back spasms and pain down my leg, thankfully just on one side. But yeah, it's not good. People warned me, there
what
was a lot that
happened?
I couldn't
How
do.
did you get injured?
Just over time, I think just the fluid in the disc had slowly dissipated to where if there's no fluid in the disc, it'll like just slide around in the
Oh,
spot
oh,
it's supposed to be in.
yeah, yeah.
And then that stuff that's around your disc is never really supposed to get into the rest of your body. So your body treats it like it's a foreign
Oh.
invasion and it like attacks it. So you get a ton of inflammation in the area. And you know, over the years I've been kicking and not stretching and you know, living in a van and
Mhm.
sleeping upright, sleeping this way. It's just all the
Mhm.
years of that and probably not having great back to begin with.
What,
Um, yeah.
how do shoes make it better for you if they're the right kind?
Yeah, so now the stage that I'm at, like they told me I need like a wide toe shoe. You need to like if you spread your toes apart, like it helps somehow with like your alignment and your back or something. So wide toe shoe is a good arch support. Like for me, I go with like a New Balance shoe because it has like both of it. But there's some Nikes that are good and uh and yeah, but like you know, I see people in Converse and Vans and I'm like, it's like flat, 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 flat. So
That is like amazing advice for the girls that watch this channel. Thank you for that. Like, protect your body, do your
yeah,
stuff,
you have to. You have
and
to.
make sure you have shoes to spread your toes out. I'm really thinking about that. That's
Yeah,
such a good
yeah.
tip. For your new in-ears, one of my other guests, she just gave me a tip today that if you're wearing an outfit,
Mhm.
she has this like specific elastic belt so that she has something to clip her device for like adjusting her in-ears
That's
onto
awesome.
instead of her outfit because it doesn't always work on her out what she's
Yeah,
wearing.
yeah.
So she
Yeah,
like
I'm
carries a belt for
that's that's great advice because I didn't know I would tried in years like a couple times and I'm looking to get back into it, but like the two shows we played with in ears, like it just went flying, absolutely flying. So
Yeah,
but
I
that's good
wonder
advice.
if you can like all the girls, or not all of them, but many of the girls in the scene make like really interesting leather bits,
Yeah. Oh
accessories.
yeah.
I wonder if you can get something that could be
Yeah.
like, like when you have the sunglasses with the chain and it looks so
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. It's like a
Like
a
some,
harness, no, a wallet chain for your your
yeah,
monitor.
so yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, like a little elastic thing, so it just snaps back. Um, but I don't know. I think there's a solution for that so that you
Yeah.
never have to worry about losing those. And that's also a really good
Try.
point to like bring that up. Now we can all think about that together for all of the people that are used to.
Entrepreneurship. There
Yeah.
you go. We'll
I mean,
develop the product.
what a cool product would that be? That there would be like a girl that makes leather goods and like one of her things is like some sort of security strap for your in-ears. Like that's so
Yeah.
rock goddess.
Hell
That's
yeah.
that's super diva energy.
I want
Um,
a tactical belt for like mace, I got my
mhm.
pee, I got
Yeah.
like in here system.
Yeah.
Someone out there can make it. I'll pay good money, I promise.
I know. I'm gonna hit up. We got so many girls to ask. Okay, so what's a performance memory that you'll never forget?
Hmm, gosh. Every show I log in there somewhere, and like it's just really hard to pick a lot of memories come up when I think about it. But uh, gosh, for some reason, I don't know why I thought of this one first just now, but it was a while ago. We played this festival in Canada, French Canada, in Montreal. It was called Puke Fest. And at the time, we kind of had a very like noisy element to our set at the end. It just dissolved into noisiness. I did some sort of performance art thing, screaming. It was ad lib. It was cool. So um that festival was crazy. It was a lot of fun, a lot of cool bands. At the end, I like took a roll of tape and I like taped my head up and I just started like bashing my head as I used to do. Wouldn't advise it because I gave myself a really bad concussion that
Mm.
show. I've given myself concussions before and gotten received them several times, but that one was quite bad. So then Puke Fest, I start throwing up everywhere on stage. We finished the set and everything. The next band gets up and plays, and this guy comes in, just walks in off the street with a hammer and just bashes someone with a hammer in
What?
the middle of the pit. And everyone's like, oh hell no. And they chase this guy and beat the shit out of this guy on the street. It was insane. Like the whole fest just evolved into like this madness like around Puke Fest. And then the whole night I'm throwing up thinking about Puke Fest, like with this concussion in my head, just being like, "Argh."
Oh
So I don't
man.
know why I thought of that one first, but I just love when synchronicities like that happen. Like you put it out in the air that you want this, and sometimes it comes back to you that way.
Um,
But yeah, we've had a lot of really cool, sweet memories too, like, the kids in the front row and different people you meet and seeing them again and seeing friends in the crowd while you're playing is always really cool. And I'm really specific about looking at people when we're playing and trying to at least see. So there's a lot of really sweet memories too, but I don't know why I thought about Puke Fest first.
so just it's puke with a K, right?
Yeah. I don't think
Okay.
they do it anymore. I think that was the
Okay.
last one. But yeah,
Um,
Puke Fest.
so have you do you know who Sandy Denny is?
I don't think so.
She's
No.
the, she's the only other person that sang for Led Zeppelin. And a lot of
Oh,
people
wow,
don't know that
cool.
Led Zeppelin recorded with a female singer. Hmm.
Nice.
And so the thing is, I feel like you would be interested in her biography because she also did like performative injuries as a
Yeah.
part of like being an artist. They were like different,
Interesting.
but like it was, quite a while ago, but it was like a
Mm,
part of her entertainer persona.
yeah.
Um,
Oh, I gotta check that out.
yeah,
Sandy Denny.
Sandy
Will do.
Denny.
Nice.
Okay, so do you have any new announcements for us?
Oh yeah. So we recorded a new album in December. Took 2 weeks in the studio with Kurt Ballou, my hero from Converge, who I brought up again earlier. He's the best. It came out awesome. We're very proud of it. So we put out one single so far. We have three more to put out. The next one is really different, so I think people are gonna really vibe with it, um, or hate it, and that's fine too. I don't, yeah.
As long as you like
So
it. As long as you like
so yes, exactly. So we have the new album to look forward to in October, and we're going to be touring on that. We've got a lot of announcements that are like so close to announcing, but I can't say yet. So lots
it.
of
Can
cool
we have a
things.
tiny baby hint?
Yeah, festivals in the fall. So festivals in the fall stateside. We've got a whole run of summer festivals in Europe that we're about to go out for June, July, and August, the end of June, July, and August. So we're just staying busy. Yeah, what we decided that we were going to do is take a break from writing a little bit because we've just been nonstop writing EPs and whatnot. Um, and see how people really respond to the new songs we play live, because I find that's the best indication.
Mhm.
Um, we're trying out a lot of different things, and we've played with so many different types of bands. It's kind of hard sometimes to gauge where like where the interest of our fans are. And
Mhm.
while we write music for ourselves, it's I want to see what the fans like too. So I
Mhm.
want to see what's working. What do we play live? I mean, we're always going to write what we write, but
Mhm.
uh now that we're at the stage with our band, we have more songs than set time by a lot. So we have to pick and choose. And yeah, so I'm excited to see how the reception is, and to get playing these new songs. We're playing two so far. On this next tour, we're gonna play four of them, I think. So yeah, so excited for that.
Yeah, I'm excited to see like what you find people are reacting to and like because like you're going to like every song you've written and recorded, probably. I would think for most people that's the case, right?
Yeah,
But so like if people are like crazy about like one thing that you tried that was like experimental and you really enjoyed it too, then great. Like that's awesome. You
yeah,
can like lean into that thing that you really enjoyed while also um like
yeah,
creating something that other people enjoy. So I think that makes a lot of sense. And it will be interesting to see like what people are want more of and everything. So
yeah.
after a long day, long hard
Yes.
day in the studio or on the road or after a show in your hometown even, um what's your favorite way to take care of yourself?
Well, I've tried many, many things throughout the years, and I now that I have an injury, it's kind of focused around that. But just in general, like it's stupid, but it's probably the most accessible thing that I have found to feel better. And this is tour, but I do it at home too. It's not so unusual on at home, but I like to get go to like TJ Maxx and get the face masks there, and use a face mask, and that's just really nice. And the under eye ones are really nice for after a show.
Mhm.
And if you drink, that's good for puffiness. I don't particularly drink much anymore, but for me, I do the merch a lot. So I love to talk to people a lot. And I find that like since I'm meeting a lot of new people and talking a lot, like my face muscles are just like I'm like
Yeah.
smiling a lot at people. I'm
Mhm.
like laughing, like having so like my face hurts. So like the under eye thing, it's a very easy and affordable if you go to like TJ Maxx or something and get the clearance ones, way to just do something just little and nice for yourself. And you could do it in the van, you could do it wherever. Also Squishmallows, not so cheap, but I think some of them are behind me, but I try and pick up one big one every tour. And that way they become like tour mementos, but
Mhm.
also like they're your pillow for that tour, and they're your buddy and they feel good. And
Yeah.
that and I guess the last thing that I have is I got this little, oh, I don't have it on my phone right now, but because I took it off and I play with it, but I have like this pop thing for my phone, right?
Mhm.
And the one that I got has these little like buttons on the back, almost like bubble wrap, but they click, and I don't know what it is about that thing, but I love popping that thing off and just clicking them. And that will
That's
just
so funny.
that's self-care right there. Honestly, it makes me feel really good. So face
Yeah,
mask, squishmallow, sensory toy.
that's so that this is the best like tour self-care like collection because there's going to be like a TJ Maxx somewhere or you can I mean they're
Yeah,
pretty easy to pack because they're so flat
yeah.
but yeah that's really good tour tips for self-care when you because sometimes it's like the answer is always like bubble bath pot of tea can't do that on tour.
Never get bats on tour. Like rarely. You'll get like an Airbnb, like 1 out of 10 will have them nowadays. And
Yeah.
Sometimes some venues, I know all the venues that have the apartments with bubble baths now in the continental United States. So I can
Oh, oh,
so yeah.
resource.
Shout out Reggie's in Chicago. They have the best bathtub in the country.
Oh my gosh. Reggie's was a super fun place to see a show for me.
Oh, love it there. Good people.
The Bird's Nest is cool.
Mm.
And I do like that they have a separate bar for the bands. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
nobody there wants to talk or party or like do anything because they're all either like super nervous or totally exhausted, but at least there's like privacy.
Yeah.
Um, so anyway, okay, where can we listen to your music and how can we follow what you do?
Yeah. We are probably everywhere you're at. We have a band camp, Escuela Grind. You can find us on our label, Monarch Heavy. They have Bandcamp as well, website. We have a website through Escuela Dash Grind. But really Instagram, Facebook, the Twitter, TikTok. Our Zoomer does the TikTok. I'm not really sure. I'm pretty sure we post on there. Yeah, so all those social media sites, and we try and really post a lot and post in our stories as much as we can to let you know what's going on with us and so yeah, find us online, find us at a show like Spotify. They are like literally like alerting me to what shows are in my area now and stuff.
Yeah, I like
So
that feature.
that's really cool.
Yeah,
And
that's
bands
like
in,
your,
I think it's like bands in town or something that it's connected to. So that's
you
really
know, you know who knows? Matt. Matt Bacon knows.
yes.
Well,
Not bacon will know. Our manager, Matty.
yeah, I was told what the thing was to set up, and I don't remember now, but I'll just send an email. But yeah, and I love band websites because there's no standardization to them. Like they could be
Yeah.
anything. And like if you
Yeah.
find a band and you like them, you're like, all right, let's see what kind of website we're gonna get. So I think
Yeah,
it's
the
super.
closest thing we have to MySpace was when you could code the page and everything nowadays. You actually just have to make your own website now. I guess that was
Yeah,
always there, but you know how exciting that was to see
I
the
know.
everyone's different pages and all the band's different pages.
Does MySpace still exist? Can we bring
It
that back?
does. It does
Okay.
exist. And it was and I think it was pivoted into like a music
Oh,
focused social media. Like it was very because that was always like their I feel like the bread and butter of
yeah.
MySpace. And so they would do like music events and stuff, not for anything like that we play or anything, but yeah,
I'm gonna
they
make a
held on for a
MySpace,
while.
man. I'm gonna make a
Yeah.
MySpace. Let's go make MySpaces. And like when people are like, where can I find your music? Be like, MySpace?
MySpace. There's a venue in Syracuse that we've played a few times and like it's everyone's tagged the wall and everything, but there's so many MySpace.com/ this band things written on the wall, and every time it just makes it just makes me chuckle. I like it.
I like
So
it
yeah.
too. Quirky. Okay. Well, thank you. Oh, wait. We got to play the vinyl game. If you've
Oh.
seen this, any of these episodes before, it's the
Mhm.
same game that's always played at the very end. I'm going to hold up two pieces of vinyl and you'll pick one to say something that you like about it, or you can also say like, I don't know what that is. Tell me about it because this is all about um like sharing more
Yeah.
band fun.
Hell yeah.
LA Witch or Hoaxed?
Oh, okay. Well, I have no idea what LA Witch is, and I like the graphic design on it, and I like they look like fun. So I would love for you to tell me about them, please.
They are a three-piece all-girl band that has a bit of a doom sound to it, but it's also kind of got like an artsy, punky edge. It's got these
Yeah.
really insane intros to the music, so it'll be stuff like, um, yeah, it's just like sometimes the spoken intros are just totally shocking and very engaging, and they work really well for breaking the songs apart and
Uh-huh.
making you go like, what did I just hear? And then you like are tuned into the music. So I think
Oh
that's like
yeah.
my favorite thing about what they do. Yeah, LA Witch.
Oh, Play with Fire is I think the record, right? I think I read that. Play
Yep.
with Fire. I'm gonna look that up.
Good eye, because honestly, I was like, "Swing it around." Okay. And
Oh,
then
that's cool.
something
That's
old,
hoaxed, right? Oh yeah. There we go.
Betty Davis or Bonnie Tyler.
Both hair is immaculate. Hmm. We'll go with Miss Betty. Miss
Okay.
Betty.
Yeah, she's got the gritty, grindy vocals that we love. Okay.
Um, it's fantastic. I miss album covers like this, honestly. It was like those were the days because it was just like literally like let's take a logo, let's take one photo shoot, and let's just get like, your Sears catalog like kind of moments, and then that's the album cover. But it works really well. I love old vinyl covers. Like
Yeah.
great. I know
And
I didn't say anything about the music in that. I was like the clothes, the gowns, the
oh, but that's so a part of her as a like a performer. Like music, like live music is musical theater, right? Like we're wearing
Yeah,
costumes, we're like becoming characters, we're creating a fantasy that people can live inside of for the duration of our set.
yeah,
And like so, she was like a Vogue model in Europe and like and just like a all around totally terrific, amazing persona. So I think that like what her album cover looks like totally matters.
yeah. Think that's
Um,
interesting at that time period that there were so many women that pivoted from being models in Europe into being like amazing musicians here. Like, I don't know what it was. Like maybe people took them serious, like the producers over there. Well, I know that was the case for like Donna Summer. Like a producer in Europe took her seriously and thought she was amazing, and they made something totally new that wasn't like anything else. Sure, but like
oh,
it's interesting.
that's an
Yeah.
amazing fun fact. I didn't know about Donna Summer's modeling career, but that makes perfect sense
Oh
because
yeah,
she
yeah, she was. She
well,
was I think in Germany, I
oh,
think it was. Yeah, there's like an HBO documentary that recently came out of
oh my God, I
with
can't wait
her.
to get
That's
it.
it's good. You'll like it. Yeah.
Sounds like my kind of stuff.
Oh, it's really
Betty Davis was born in Pennsylvania. So, and then
good.
she married Miles Davis,
Yeah.
nobody cares. And then she, um, then she did her Europe thing.
Yeah. That's so cool.
Coven or Janis Joplin.
Coven, I just saw someone wearing a Coven shirt. I forgot it was probably some Maryland Death Fest thing, but yeah, I mean, come on, look at that. And everyone, no
Yeah.
contest.
And like for the people that don't own this album, how about some naked Jinx sacrifice?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, it's kind of a full frontal nude. It's like a full frontal, full side nude.
yeah. The
Well,
everlasting side boob.
yeah, I mean, it is the everlasting side boob, everlasting vampire queen. Okay, Kate or Grace Slick?
Ooh, I don't know Grace Slick at all. But I love Kate Bush. So I will take this opportunity for you to educate me about Grace Slick.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
she in the Rolling Stones top 100 rock songs of all time, she wrote two, and that's "Somebody to Love" and she. This just happened earlier. I can't remember the Alice in Wonderland themed song. One pill makes you larger, the
Oh
other.
yeah, the other makes you small. A Jefferson Airplane?
Yeah, she
Is
was
that
the
it? Yeah.
female singer in Jefferson Airplane.
Oh, okay.
She
Nice.
in New York Central Park, she played a concert in 65 and it was too hot, so she took off her shirt. She had no shirt on while she played.
Yeah. Okay. I do know who she is. I just didn't know what her name was. That's so cool.
So
I would
on
love
this
that. Now I have to go listen to the album. That's like her solo album.
she
That's
had a
cool.
whole solo career and she often dabbled in heavy metal and people
Yeah.
don't know that, but there's a song on this album called Angel of the Night that it was recorded in 1979. I believe March 13th, 1979, or maybe the album was released on that date. But um it's I mean, Jinx already started like satanic rock, and then if you like look a little further, then you get to this song Angel of the Night by Grace Slick, and it's really like that's like the real heavy metal. So
Yeah. That's
uh
so cool.
so
Thanks for that.
so
Badass.
Mean Mistreater or Tina Turner?
Tina, I saw it like the corner of it. I was like, Miss Tina, always. I love Tina Turner so much,
Me
always have.
too.
always have.
Tina Turner.
I learned something about her recently that I just could not believe in that she never vocally warmed up. She hated it. And she said that it made her sound worse. She hated it. So she would never do a vocal warm up. She said she did it like once or twice and it like just was not. So that's insane. That's absolutely insane for what she was doing. Like, but in a way, I kind of get it because like if your voice is just like that and she had that particular like patina to her voice, like I don't know how to describe it. Like it didn't have to be
You're the
on, like, and
patina.
it could warble. Yeah, patina. So yeah, yeah, I love Tina Turner. Yeah,
Yeah,
she's rock. She's everything. Like
that's everything.
she was in between, had her fingers in kind of every genre in a way, and like everyone wanted to work with her. The comeback story, I mean, just everything about her.
I know, I know, I know. I love Tina Turner so much. It's like a problem. I but yeah, her first album after she left Ike was Tina Takes the Country, and it's like not a very good country album, but this album is my favorite Tina album, Break Every Rule. She's still in her like breakup mindset and she's pissed
Yeah.
off and she don't need no man, but she's gonna like fuck a bunch of them. And
Yeah.
Tina. And so but it still has like a country influence, so it's kind of like
Yeah.
a it's so unique. It's like
I love
not
that.
it's not blues rock. And yeah, it's fantastic. After this, she does Private Dancer, which is commercially more successful, but I think the better songs are on Break Every Rule.
Yeah.
I
Oh, it's so cool.
never knew that fun fact about Tina
I
Turner.
didn't either. I didn't. I saw it probably in a YouTube video or something, but it was her saying it, so I was like, what? I was like,
I've
could
said
not
that
believe it.
before, like in recording and everything. Like there were days when I tried to warm up because I was told to, and it
Mhm.
did make me feel like I sounded worse. And I didn't know that that happened to other people. And now I feel totally justified in being like, I'm like Tina Turner. I don't warm up. Ah, Tina. Okay.
I wish we could all be like that. I personally, I don't think we could ever not warm up, but yeah, it's amazing.
So,
Oh,
Joan Jett or
yeah.
Susie Quattro?
Gosh. Ooh. I mean, I'm more familiar with Joan Jett, so I guess it would be Joan Jett, but I'm pretty sure.
You want to
Okay,
know
no, I
about Susie
won't do
Q,
that. I was gonna say like, but she's better at guitar, but that's like lame. That's like fucking lame to say. So we'll go with Joan Jett, Miss Joan. We love a commercial rock icon. I think that's cool and important, and I will never shit on anyone for bringing it to the masses. So
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah,
Everybody wants to bring it to the masses. If they don't, then so anyway, like what anyway, yeah, okay. So the pairing here is because Susie Quattro was on the cover of Rolling Stones in 1975. That's the
yeah.
year that Joan Jett decided to start the Runaways. So this is
Oh,
like her girl crush. They have the same hair.
that's cool. I
And
love that. That's a great story.
Susie Q, she she played bass while she sang, and her bass rhythms were like not like the vocal rhythms at all. She was like
Yeah.
singing and playing on different rhythms entirely.
I don't know how people do that. I wish that I could.
They're both
Great.
cuties. I wish they were a lesbian couple. Um, just personally. So, okay. Girl School or this band, which has a female drummer, Attack.
Oh, I don't know anything about Attack, so let's go with Attack because I love any female drummer. I love immediately will listen to. Let's
Well,
see,
then
Lindsay.
yeah, Lindsay, you must watch the episode that came out yesterday then because I had Emily Merrick, who is a female power metal drummer,
Hell yeah.
and the whole episode we talked about women metal drummers, so you'll love it.
No, it's
Um,
badass. Our guitar player, Chrissy, she plays drums too, and I'm just like, oh man, I wish I could play. Like, we need to see more of it. So
um, yeah, so I mean, I have this album because of Lindsay playing drums, but when a band has male vocals, I like kind of don't want to listen to it. So won't really have much to say besides Lindsay plays drums.
hell yeah, that's badass. I love it.
But that's
I will
it.
definitely Attack. I've got a whole playlist now to go back and listen to. It's
You'll
Badass.
now you'll have to rewatch this episode so you have all the
Exactly. There you go. Take
race
notes.
flick, attack, all that. Well,
That
thank you.
was really no, thank you for curating. That was really impressive. I like
Oh,
how you did that and like understood how this was like cause and effect in some of that. That was it was a journey. Thank you.
yeah, we're looking at our like the trailblazers that came before us as we create this time capsule for the girls that will come after us, and
Oh
they'll
yeah.
be able to see you tell stories that they'll understand and they'll know like that it's normal.
Hell yeah. Oh, I
Or
love that.
or
Thank you. Thank you
extraordinary.
so much.
Yeah, thank you for being a part of it and adding to this.
Oh, you're really sweet. Thanks for having me. Really cool. I have nothing else to say. Like, thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. Bye. Thank you.
All right. Take it easy, Joe.